876 292 67766. You want a horse? Link Claudia Davis, man. You want a piece of land? She are the real big woman. Miss Davis, she are the real big woman. With she, you coulda never go wrong with she. You can own horse and a van through she. You can own acre land. Miss D are the real big woman. With she, you coulda never go wrong with she. You can own horse and a van through she. You can own acre land. She tell me pre-smart, pre-better. Get your own damn place so you prefer every day. My wife have to sign up letter car. NHT them a reach and setter. Plus me don't get a youth of a member. My son just on table in December. And she look construction too. She will build your house for you and you get it well rendered. Davis, she are the real big woman. With she you coulda never go wrong with she. You can own house and a van through she. You can own acre land. Miss D are the real big woman. With she you coulda never go wrong with she. You can own house and a van through she. You can own acre land. She now start it and left you there. Me I tell your brother, yes, she well prepared. And if you're meeting and no farmer bangarang, she give you lawyer, brother, clear your fear. She are the best RST agent. She help the need if you stop pay rent. And no care about mind them, just give me strength by steel and gravel and black and cement. Now me house that I build up on the ivy and save some me money gone up in the sky from. Me Claudia, me say me nah lie bang. Got money and me pocket never giant. Me swear for me life, say me son him have to fly so. Hypocrite pagan while we die. You can't stop Claudia Davis, don't try. Every day another house gone. I Miss Davis, she are the real big woman. With she you coulda never go wrong with she. You can own house and a van through she. You can own acre land. Miss D are the real big woman. With she you coulda never go wrong with she. You can own house and a van through she. You can own acre land. Yeah man, you know. It's Claudia Davis. Pick up yourself. That's a like, subscribe, and share. Claudia Davis. Can get your house anywhere. Just be prepared without no fear.
Are you ready? Are you ready for land banking? Are you ready? The voice is not there. But are you ready? I think we need everything like Tonya.
Remember, we're having a low voltage situation.
So you can't turn on the light?
No. You won't have any power anywhere else.
Ouch. So we're in a different location, as you can surmise. So we're on the truck now?
Okay.
I don't run the truck. What do you need to know? Welcome, everybody. You're on YouTube Live. I'm Claudia, and this is Tonya. We're back.
Oh, how was your vacation? Are you sick leave, rather?
Sick leave. Why? When one partner work and next part work quite fine. So Tony's having difficulty running our track. We're having some low voltage where we are.
Legacy over hype. Land banking are the real deal. Buy up the land to secure your meal. Forget things will rise and drop. Me put me trust in dirt, not up. Me not chase it to our flashy trend. Me want me children own till the end. Fi build the dream, the pension, the plan. Land of the key, own piece of the land. Land banking simple, buy land cheap. Hold it long term, watch value leap. No fence or house, that's still alright. One day development, I go shine the light. Buy no wait, no rush we flip. One new highway, land tech trip. Them a pave road, put post the light. The same bush you buy glow bright, bright, bright. Yeah man, them laugh when they buy the dry bushy. Now them walk all the tour and looky. Land can't spoil, can't get hack. Me sleep good, me asset intact. Land banking are the real deal. Buy up the land to secure your meal. Forget things will rise and drop. Me put me trust in dirt, not up. Me not chase it to our flashy trend. Me want me children own till the end. To build the dream, the pension, the plan. Land of the key, own trust in dirt, not up. Me no chase tiptoe or flashy trend. Me want me children own till the end. Fi build the dream, the pension, the plan. Land of the key, own piece of the land. Start small, don't stress the pace. 1 quarter lot, still hold the grace. Join up with crew, pool the fun. Everybody eat when the deal get done. Do your due diligence, check title clear. Buy where you grow, no buy out of fear. 1 plot today, 5 tomorrow. Land banking, give freedom, no borrow and sorrow. Cut the brunch, skip the party. Save for your lot, your building starting. It not take enough to start your file. Land can take you from broke to smile. Land banking are the real deal. Buy up the land to secure your meal. Forget things where rise and drop. Me put me trust in dirt, not up. Me no chase it, no or flashy trend. Me want me children own till the end. To build the dream, the pension, the plan. Land of the key, own piece of the land.
So that is actually today's lesson. So what did you learn?
Land banking are the real deal.
That is a lesson, guys. So tell me some of the things you actually learned. Then you're gonna have to play it again. Some person's jumping on late because they probably feel that I won't be here today. So for today, I'm only staying 1 hour. Still having a voice issue. I was in a meeting earlier too. I was using up my voice, so seem to be running on a quota. So we have decided to use songs as part of our marketing to help get the message across. This is one of them, and you'll be hearing more songs as we go along. So that song was telling you about land banking. As a matter of fact, there are quite a number of things in there about land banking.
Oh, we have a question before. So Jamaican Beauty said, good evening, ladies. Good evening. She says, ladies patiently waiting. Thanks for waiting on us. And Cheryl says, good afternoon, ladies. Afternoon.
Afternoon.
So Tim Jones, it says, are there a lot new developments in Kingston? And where is hot zone for new places in Jamaica? What is the policy of Jamaica for non-Jamaicans investing and buying property?
In Jamaica, we don't see non-Jamaicans. We don't see any, what should I say?
There's no discrimination.
There's no difference between a Jamaican and a non-Jamaican buying in Jamaica. Jamaica does not see color, race, nationality, or religion, or any of those things. This is one of the countries where it doesn't matter where you're from, where you're born, you can buy property here. You only need to take your passport, go to the tax office, and apply for what's called a tax registration number. That's it, and proceed to look for your property and purchase it. While you're doing that, remember to be represented by a lawyer. Also ask a realtor like myself or a real estate agent like Tonian to assist you in finding the property in Jamaica. But there is absolutely no restriction. You can buy the whole island if you can afford it. No restriction. And I mean that literally, no restrictions, right? So you can buy anywhere in Jamaica too. Once you can afford it, you can buy it. Apart from maybe 1 or 2 places where you're vetted, and those are private developments. You're kind of vetted, background check and all of that for you to buy into those private residences. But for the most part, you can buy anywhere in Jamaica once you have the money. And that tax registration number. If you're not in Jamaica with your passport to go and get that tax registration number, you can go online and go to the, which portal is it? Jamaica Tax?
JamaicaTax.gov.jm. Go
to that portal and register for a tax registration number.
What about the other question?
What's the other question?
Are there a lot new developments in Kingston? And where is the hot zone for new places in Jamaica?
Kingston, when we say Kingston in Jamaica, we mean Kingston is downtown, right? So if that's what you're asking me, Kingston downtown, there is a new one on the waterfront. What's it called? It's a condo. It's a apartment, huge apartment complex that was just refurbished. But when you're talking about St. Andrew, so I don't know if you're asking me St. Andrew, calling it Kingston, right? Remember, Kingston is a different parish from St. Andrew. So St. Andrew, mostly residential, commercial, industrial, and so on. So hot zones, are you talking about residential? So hot zone residentials are in St. Andrew, and you mostly will buy apartment complexes now. If you're talking about new in St. Andrew, because we don't have anywhere in St. Andrew to put bungalow houses anymore. So it's strictly townhouse and apartments in St. Andrew. That's what you're gonna get. Or you buy an older house and do your own refurbishing and remodeling. Or you buy a piece of land and build your own property, own house. Is there another part of the question?
No. One was a hot zone and one was a policy.
St. Andrew is always a hot zone. Literally anything in St. Andrew will fly off the shelf.
Mm-hmm. Montego Bay is a hot zone?
In the town of Montego Bay, yes.
Okay. Anne-Marie says, welcome back, Miss Claudia. Hello, Tonian. Anne-Marie says, Deltona, Florida in the house. You guys were definitely missed.
Thank you so much. We're only on for 1 hour today. For those of you who just dropped in.
Because we caught up.
Because of my voice here going already again. Don't know why, guys. But ask the questions now so that I can get to them before. So this is about asking a question. We're actually at Palmetto Pines. So Tonya will have to go to the door. But let me see if I can see the questions and answer them. I'm sorry, the like the new song. Is this the same mistake? Yeah, so you still heard the old song first. So we're gonna be bringing more information to you through songs. So when I lost my voice, I actually said, what else? How can I bring the message to you? If I can't talk, what can I do? So I came up with songs or poems, things like that. I don't have to say it. Somebody else can say it, right? So you're going to see a lot more of our ads, and even when I come on live and in our space, in our social media space, you will see more singing and so on. Right? So definitely the song that's out is Land Banking. And it's actually teaching you some stuff too. So pay close attention to the song. All right, so I'm waiting for somebody to ask me a question. Hi, Beverly. Thank you for coming on today. You missed us, yes. Thank you. We miss you too, actually. Sundays are boring without you guys, actually. Because on a Sunday we have to get busy to come on live. So we're busy doing stuff. Apart from that, no, we're just watching Netflix, basically. Which even sometimes I get tired of watching TV. Hi, Ruby. Happy Sunday. Hi, the Buffalo. Thank you for coming on. Good afternoon. Dion. Hi, Dion. Christian. Thank you so much for coming on. So I have something here. Welcome back. I was worried about you being ill, Miss D. You worked too hard. Too hard. Body was run down. Yes. and force you to take a break. Glad to see you back. Pray for you full recovery, and Tony's taking care of you. Yes. Tony, you're gonna believe in me? Tony? Alright, so you can push up the door, please. We're at Palmetto Pines actually. So Tony has to step away for a while, so I'm gonna be carrying the show by myself here now. So remember to we're at Palmetto Pines, where we're selling lots, 3,000 square feet up to about 10,000 square feet. And we're waiting on the schedule now of handover. So we're waiting on that so that we can send it out to persons who have already deposited, so they can know how far along in the process they actually are. But so what usually happens at this time? So NHT have announced a new benefits for everybody. So it used to be 7.5, now gone to 9 million. The bonus though is persons who purchasing land. So if you're purchasing land, you will now get 12 million to build. Game changer. So that trips in, I think, is July. Once that trips in July, that's when you're going to see the rush now to get land. When you're going to see the rush. So persons who are, and they didn't increase the price, they didn't increase the benefit for land. The benefit for land is still 3,500 square feet. But if you're a person who will get the 12 million for the land, remember it's based on affordability too. So if you're someone who will get the 12 million for land, then now is the time to come and secure your land, not just here, but anywhere in Jamaica. Because I'll tell you, those prices are going to move. Once the NHT benefits steps in July, the price is going to move. The NHT is also pushing for us to get our solar panels. I'm thinking about it. I should think about it really hard, because I'm hearing, I don't know how true this is, those of you who listen to the news, the government of Jamaica is planning to divest their 20% ownership in JPS. So I'm hearing. Is that hearsay? Is that gossip? Somebody please tell me. Did that come out somewhere in the news? Somebody can Google it and tell me. Because if that happens and they sell off their 20%, so I'm hearing it's going to be sold off in some kind of a shares or IPO, something like that, similar to what they did with the highway. If that happens, the Jamaica government will no longer be a major shareholder in JPS. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Because if you sell it out in an IPO, it means you now have a whole heap of little shareholders scattered all about. Will they have a talk? So like when JPS hit us with the big bill increase, I think it was the oil factor, when we had the last hurricane, just dump it on the bill then and gave us this bill and said, pay it. It was the government of Jamaica through I distinctly remember Minister Darren Vaz coming out strongly and saying, I can't do that. No, and got them to roll that back. So if the government sell their shares in JPS, I am putting on my long-term hat here now and thinking what could be the ramifications for me personally as a JPS user. Now, I enjoy using JPS. I'm having a little low voltage here, so which is why we can't turn on the light. We have to get the electrician to figure that out. But if the government of Jamaica sells their shares in JPS, and somebody please just Google it and tell me if the government of Jamaica really plans to do that, how is it going to impact and affect me, the JPS user? Because no, JPS will still have 80%, yes, but the other 20% shareholders scattered all over the world and all over Jamaica. What kind of a voice will they have if JPS pull the same thing that they did with raising the prices when we had the hurricane, trying to recover this money all at once? I don't know. Google it and tell me if it's true that them doing that. Yvonne says, good afternoon. Hi, good afternoon, Yvonne. Is it now unrealistic to find a new development gated community on the north coast between Discovery Bay to Ocho Rios for $250,000? The one that comes to mind is Camelot Village. If you're interested in that one, you can give me a call. So we're selling those now, anywhere from 35 million to 40 million Jamaican dollars, depending on what persons have done to the property. So 250,000. So 200,000 is roughly 30 million. 50,000 is another 75. So it's not like you could do it 37.5 million, yes. So if you're willing to be in Discovery Bay, then yes, Camelot Village would be the property that you would go after. Coming further down, you're talking about in Runaway Bay, you would have the Vista, you'd have Savannah, those are more expensive. Come further down, Paradisiac, Richmond. You come into the Draxall area, no. There's lands in the Draxall area, but those are 200,000 US, quarter acre lots. So Riverstead is also going to be in Discovery Bay. So Riverstead, those of you who would be interested in Riverstead, so Riverstead is a group effort. It's a collective. So Riverstead, what Riverstead would do is buy land together and do subdivision together, right? The pooling of funds to get it done. So if you still haven't found your property, well, Riverstead not coming out until 2 years' time. But if you want to get in now, Camelot Village. So Riverstead is similar to Ecosted, which some of you know would have started. What we did in Portland is a similar concept where a group of persons get together, become shareholders, purchase property, and do development. That's what it is in a nutshell. So if anybody's interested, you can WhatsApp me. My phone has died now, but you can always WhatsApp me, 292-6776. 292-6776. Remember, I'm only on here until 4 o'clock. So if you have any questions, ask me. And I may come off earlier too because I hear my voice starting to get scratchy. But it's not unrealistic. You can't come into Camelot Village. Camelot Village was built by Gore Development Company. And 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Many of the units have a sea view. And the size of the lot start from 5,000 square feet up to about 10,000 square feet. So it just depends on which one. What we're doing now are resales. So persons who have bought and have decided, oh, I just need to sell this back. So they're doing that now. So those are being sold between 35 to 40 million. All right. So you see, real estate is a good investment, guys. A bomb. All right. See another question pop it up. If someone has a property on the north coast and will benefit from the highway improvements, is it worth waiting to sell or holding on to add more value? It really depends on what you want the money to do. You must have a reason why you want to sell. What is that reason? Is it that you want to get into another development? If you want to get into another development, it don't make sense, you wait. Right? Because that development, the price will also go up. Why do you want to sell? That's the fundamental thing now. Not because the highway is coming affects you, shouldn't that affect you selling? But why is it that you want to sell? What is the baseline reason? Person sell for a couple of reasons. Divorce is one of them. That's the main one, divorce. Death, right? They also sell because of retirement. They get older, they want to relocate, whether to children overseas or to another part of the island. We have the 1 and 2 investor who will buy and flip, but that's few and far in between. But mostly persons sell because of death, migration, or divorce. If it is for investment, then truth is the faster you flip, the faster you sell the property and move into the next, get into the next new thing or best thing that's coming up. Then that's how you have something called the velocity of money. How fast it moves and how fast you can get back your money. So how fast you get back your money. So in real estate, you get back the money 2 ways. One is what we call cash flow. So when you buy the property, you rent it out. When you get in the income, so you get 50,000 a month, you spend out 40,000. The 10,000 is the cash flow. But let us say you spent 100,000 to actually get this property and fix it up and all of that, and you're getting back 10,000 a month. So how fast are you going to get back your money? You're going to get back your money in 10 months, right? The return on investment, how fast you get back your money? 10 months. So let us say you had spent 1 million on a deposit to buy this property, okay? And when you get the property, even though you pay the mortgage, you turn around and you sell it back, and you get $10 million in your hand. So you would have gotten back 1 million, which is your money, plus 9 million. So you'd have gotten that back faster, wouldn't you? You'd get back the money you put in faster than trying to get 100,000 a month for rent. Your million going to come back to you in 9, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 months, or even longer, depending on the rental income, right? So how fast do you get back the money? So it just depends on why are you selling. If you're selling because of the divorce, I would forget about the highway and sell, because anything can happen. I've seen persons left their property, their divorce is finalized, they did not sell the property and split the funds. They left it thinking, oh, my name is on it. Sorry. If you met the man marry again and bring him wife in there, is now the matrimony at home. And you may not be able to claim that property. So definitely, if it is a divorce, you would want to wrap that up quickly, sell, do what you need to do, and move on. A death, maybe where other siblings are involved. That one, you also want to wrap that one quickly as well, because remember, other siblings are involved. And they probably need the funds more than you. So it don't make sense to tell them, oh, wait, the highway coming, let's wait. Maybe they can double and triple for their money longer than this highway going to do that, right? So with death, it may suit it to sell. So divorce and death, you want to move a little fast. That's the other reason people sell. Migration, personally, if I was migrating, I wouldn't sell. I wouldn't sell. I'd probably put a tenant in there, and that no, I would wait out, because it probably means it's only me alone on the property, or me and my husband, both of us migrating. So this property can still stay, earn some money, and all of that.
But what if you need that cash to settle, buy somewhere to live overseas?
I am not taking money out of real estate
To buy more real estate?
in another country. No.
Oh.
I must have the money going in. I see another person's made that mistake. On property here, they sell the property here, and then they go over there, take the money, and try to buy and try. But that money gets lost in living.
Mm.
Gets lost in living, right? What I would do is leave the property here. When I get there, I earn the money, I build my credit, I take a loan, and I buy a property there. Understand? And chances are, the property you're going to be selling here is either mortgage free already or has a little bit of mortgage on it, right? And then worse, if you're moving from a third world to a first world country, the money that you're going to get from this property here is just a deposit in this country up here.
Here, that's what you need, the deposit, the 20% down.
No, go and save your money. So, no, because you already have the advantage of having it's a big advantage when you own a property with your name on a title, guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's a major advantage in life. Worse if you inherit it, like some people who lucky and I got inherit. All right. So, it's no migration. Then I will sell. But divorce, I'm selling, splitting, get my money, move on. Father died, mommy died, left property, 2 or 3 or 4 siblings. Again, that one, you need, if it's one house your parents leave, I find it difficult that 4 of you are going to, somebody's going to cry that they're not benefiting from it.
What, if you sell?
No, if you keep
it,
yeah, if you try to keep it, somebody's gonna cry and say, "But I'm not making any money. You rent out the place, and this is my alone collect the rent. That the door, oh it lock up, and this is my alone good here. At Christmas, I don't even get a chance to go sleep in the bed. So, if it's one property your parents leave, that probably says sell."
Sell the family home.
Sell the family home. Worse if one day America, one day Canada, one day Dubai. There's no point. That's no longer. That's not no family, no. That is just some relatives, no, and that's gonna be an uphill battle. So,
answer these questions.
Answered some already. So Maxine, London to Jamaica. Hi, London to Jamaica. I was answering the first one about highway improvement. If it's worth waiting to sell, or so migration I wouldn't sell, but the other 3 reasons: death, divorce. So,
just death and divorce.
No more. Death, divorce, investment. You bought it as an investment property, as explaining. If this is investment and it's cash is your aim, remember there are 2 ways to make money: cash and cash flow. So if cash is your aim, you sell quickly, move on, keep doing that. Move how fast the money come back, velocity of money, how fast this money can roll back in your bank account, and you roll it again and you buy something else, and then you sell it again and you roll it again and you buy something else. It's how fast it can come, right? Remember, it's a numbers game, guys, how fast. So it don't make sense. You sit down with, if cash is your aim, if cash flow is your aim, then you sit down with the property. But the property not cash flowing either, and you can't afford to keep this property yourself. Just the same, right?
But should you keep a property that's not cash flowing if it's investment you're in?
You can, because you might be using that property as something else. So let's just say property has a mortgage. Remember, the interest from the mortgage is deductible before tax. So that's one way. Another thing is that the depreciation. Remember, if it's a company, the depreciation. So like a Camelot Village, you bought it for X. When the man come value it now, it value 35 million. Right? So capital assets, you can't take the depreciation. Can you take depreciation on house and land? I don't think so, no. No, sorry.
Is it not depreciating?
It's only on vehicles and equipment. So what I meant was the furniture. So the you furnished it. The furniture, the AC, all of them things there. I got to attract a depreciation every year. So let us say I spend 5 million to furnish it, put that. You can now take a 10% depreciation. That's 500,000 deducted right away before you pay the tax.
Okay.
If you have a mortgage, you can also deduct the interest that you're paying on a mortgage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is why some persons don't pay off the mortgage on investment properties. They allow them to just run around because they know they can now subtract the interest before. And another thing is the capital appreciation, which is what we're talking about. So if you're looking at it there saying the capital appreciation is going to be 10% every year, that's like you earning 10% every year.
Even if you're paying a mortgage?
Even if you're paying a mortgage.
Because
remember, the mortgage don't move. So you getting an appreciation of 10% per year in quote unquote value. So on paper, this year your value 50 million, next year your value 6 million.
Okay.
Because of the appreciation, right? And also, there's something called equity. So you buy a house of 10 million, it's now valued at 30 million. You can now take 85% of 30 million.
Okay.
So you can take that money out of that house and go buy an next property. And the equity money is actually easier to get. So, and the equity, because you're taking the equity, you don't have to find any deposits. Mm-hmm. So let us say you say, go around Mattel and everybody have another house and they must sell it $15. You can say, boom, let me take the equity out of the house and give them the 15 million.
And you'd have that property clean and clear.
Right. You don't need any deposit. Because you say, we even have the money. Can't make a deposit. Well, you have a property with the equity.
Mm-hmm.
So you can now take out the equity. So those are some of the ways why persons will hold on to our property and sometimes they make a bad investment in our property. So in other words, it can't make no rental income. Right?
But it has value.
It has some value. You can go and take the equity out of it. However, with that property, so it's like I said to my kids, every year we look at what we have and we say, now make the money, get rid of it. Anything go fall at the bottom of the pile that don't make sense, you get rid of it. Pulling back the funds now and wrap it back into something else. That's what you do. But do not sell off your income earners.
Beverly is saying something. Will the U.S. tariff imposed impact house prices and increase material costs?
How the tariffs work now? So tariff work both ways. Now it is the U.S. who have imposed tariff hikes. Remember, meaning goods from Jamaica going to the U.S. will attract the increased tariff. That means we who export from Jamaica to the U.S. So what do we export to the U.S.? I'm thinking.
Coffee.
Bauxite. Coffee.
We export coffee, right? I think so.
So it is not we who will pay the increase in price, it is the people in the US.
Oh, but it might
because the tariff, the prime minister, the president of the US is imposing the tariff on us. Mm-hmm. So it makes we have to pay an extra 10 or 15% now when it lands in over there. So that's why the people over there will raise the price. Mm-hmm. That's why the Chinese companies in America raise the price in America, because the goods coming from China and us have an increased tariff. Now, from what I'm understanding, there's always been some high levels of tariff. Countries around the world use tariff as a way of protecting their local. So if the US wants to send chicken here in Jamaica, because Jamaica is self-sufficient in chicken, we don't need no chicken from nobody. We grow all our chicken and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody who wants to sell chicken come here, what Jamaica does is impose a high tariff. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That way, because you have to pay this high tariff to send your chicken to Jamaica, you're not competitive. So you won't send any chicken here. Which is why you don't see a lot of chicken back on those things anymore from overseas. Because we have gotten self-sufficient in chicken, and chicken parts are now local chicken parts. Remember, we used to get some big fat chicken leg with whole heap of fat on it or something. Yes, chicken. We used to call them chicken quarters, and yeah, man, we used to get them big. All the breasts them the big and one bag of fat. Jamaicans, and I remember that one bag of fat. And the other day I was trying to find some chicken back because I love fried in my ackee. Look high and low. Look at the man. I said, "What the chicken back?" He said, "Chicken back in the fridge." I said, "Nah, man. Not the chicken back, the too maga, man. That's not chicken back." He said, "Listen, if I the foreign chicken back you look for, you're not getting that." This is it. So the best dressed people and the CB people now, when them cut off the leg quarter and everywhere of a chicken, them now have the back. Them are selling it as chicken back, you know. But that's not what chicken back we used to. Well, not my Akita chicken back anyway.
Mom, but I'm trying to get to this housing thing.
Mm-hmm.
To the parts that we put in the house, window, door, tile, those stuff. Where it coming from? It coming directly from China into Jamaican ports. So there's no tariff.
We haven't imposed a tariff.
Oh, so China can still bring their stuff here.
Yeah.
Oh, so US don't act like a transit shipment before it reaches us.
I'm not so sure, but the only way US could have getting at that is if them charge to ship them more money.
Oh.
Or if the shippers shipping and have to go to the US, offload, then reload, and there's a charge, more charge for that. So the Chinese or wherever the goods coming from may say, "Hey, shipping more price, so we have to now raise the prices on us," right?
Okay.
But I was thinking about it the other day, even for my own household. Thinking, how is this going to affect us? What do we buy? It's going to affect us badly if this tariff thing should really reverse itself. Jamaica imports a lot of stuff. It's really the country. So, okay. So US imposed a tariff on China, Jamaica, everywhere. So every goods coming into the US country will have this tariff attached to it, so it makes the goods more expensive. So it's the country who imposes a tariff. It's their people who will pay the high price.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The people exporting the goods. So me sending my tomato from Jamaica over there.
Mm-hmm.
And the president said, "Hey, I have to pay $20 more for the tomato." I send the tomato. But when it reached there, I'm going to raise the price because the people who are eating the tomato have to pay me back.
Yeah, but then won't the local people just stop by because they say tomato not worth $20?
Yeah.
And they just buy from a local tomato
Right.
person.
That which is what he's hoping for.
Okay.
So what I understand US to be saying is that the balance of trade is not good with the tariff. Because you guys impose this whole heap of tariff on we when we are sending goods come off from the country.
Mm-hmm.
So the balance of the tariff is not good.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So he's evening it out. Okay.
He's trying to even it out. And also on the back of that, he's trying to bring back the manufacturing jobs to the US. Now,
okay. But he needs people for that.
That is like Jamaica saying we're trying to bring back the agricultural jobs to Jamaica. No.
Who going to do it, Owen?
Yeah.
Who going to do it?
So when I heard that,
Our Jamaican people don't even go in sun anymore.
yeah, when I heard he's trying to bring back
The sun is for our tourists.
manufacturing jobs, I'm saying, damn, I wonder if you want to do the demographics right, because it's a similar thing with Jamaica saying, we need to do the farming, we need to do the farming. Who is going to do it, guys? Who is going to do it? First of all our every child know have a tablet in them hand, right? So if them have a tablet in them hand, they're not thinking about farming. We have tried so hard to get our children off the farm and into business places and foreign and all these things, right? So when the older folks gone, we definitely won't have anybody to do the farming. Um, and that's one of the things that we're looking at with Riverside and Ecosystem, because we're trying to build self-sustaining communities. Because that's going to be a challenge. We're going to find we're importing more stuff now than food that we're exporting. So we have to be self-sufficient in some way, because if the whole tariff thing gets out of hand, we might be in problems, right? Um, we haven't seen any increase in prices here like that in terms of food. Um, no, we haven't. We don't make clothes, right? We don't make fabric anymore. We used to have a fabric factory. We no longer have that. We used to do rice. We used to do so many things. Our manufacturing as well is down. And a similar thing, Jamaica government says right now, oh, we need to get these people back in manufacturing. Trying to think, where are these people going to come from? I'd love to know. Of the population, half of those are children not working, because we don't even allow our children to work like that, right? They have to work when they reach 18. So, well, what's the next? You have maybe the next quarter, the 1.5 million are older people like myself who not going into no factory, no farm, nobody office or anything to work. Then don't forget the section now that is spoiled by the remittances. So the 2 million persons overseas are sending money here to support those people who used to sitting at home, who carry children to school, who babysit in houses, because that's what I call it, because there are a lot of houses out here that people live in them but they don't work. They're babysitters of houses, right? So that we have that section where the people overseas are supporting us here. And for a while I was one of those persons to write, because my mother migrated to live overseas. And for a while, yeah, she sent the barrels and all of that and supported us here. So who leave now to go in factories and farming? You're talking about, and then we have about 300,000 civil service. And we're talking about maybe another 50,000 of youths who rubbing out them hand middle, not doing no hard work. So we would be hard pressed. Right now, the Chinese said, listen, we're going to put some factories in Jamaica. I mean, that's a back up that little bit. Let's do the maths on this. You're talking about mega factories in China, 5,000, 10,000 people. Where are we going to find them? Where? We can barely find people to put in call centers. So where are we going to find them from? We just don't have the population. So the United States of America, I guess they need to also do that kind of a math to see if do you really have people who want to go and work in manufacturing. You say bring back manufacturing to the US. China, the Philippines, all of those countries have light years ahead of us. They have the discipline. They also have the labor force, talking about 1.4 billion or 1.2 billion. Come on. They have the labor force. They have a disciplined society. We don't. In China, if you want to cross over the road, you have to go to the pedestrian. Even though the pedestrian is 1 mile from you, better go down on the pedestrian and use it. In Jamaica, we cross the street anywhere we want. We sleep anywhere we want. We build a house anywhere we want. We're not disciplined yet. And I guess probably, I don't know if it's the same in the States or in England or in Canada, but Certainly in Jamaica, we don't have the discipline. We just don't. And not only that, we don't have the labor force. We just don't. So everybody dreaming about bringing back the farming and bring back this. Now Riverside and Ika said we'll run some kind of farm. Ika said have 2 acres, Riverside will have 5. But we have to get smart with our farming. Right? So we're looking at ways to get smart. One of them is trees. So fruit trees will definitely be in abundance. You put those down. The truth is, if I was running a farm, it would only be trees. Fruit trees I would have to deal with. I wouldn't be dealing with cash crops because it just takes so much. We also have to look at other types of farming, vertical farming, greenhouse farming. It can't be no farming where old school with pickaxe and shovel and all of this now. It has to be totally different. So the tariff, I guess, is the president's way of evening out the imbalance that they have identified with countries who send things to them. Because remember, every country around the world, including China, heavily depends on US consumers because persons in the United States are consumers, right? A lot, they do buy a lot. I mean, Jamaica, me only have almost 5 shoes. Then probably everybody who on this chat now who live in America can probably show me a closet with at least 50 shoes in it because you're consumers, right? And it was built that way with the credit cards. That's why you get the credit cards so easy because in that era, they wanted you to buy more, buy more, buy more because the jump started the economy. And the only way to do that is to get people to buy more. So the more shoes you buy, the more handbag you buy, is the more they could build more handbags and make more shoes and employ more people and so on. But unfortunately, those that manufacturing, so you build the manufacturing demand, but you never build the capabilities. What the companies did was outsource the manufacturing to the other countries who could have done it more efficiently. So that's what they did. So even though US was building demand, consumer demand for shoes, handbag, you name it, they were building it, giving you credit cards, giving you spending ability. They weren't building the factories and so on to build the shoes and the handbag and so on. That part of it was outsourced to other countries. So that's kind of what President Trump is saying, that there's a serious imbalance. I want to get it back, but as I said, I don't know. It's like our prime minister, so bring back farming.
I think, yes, you want your country to be self-sufficient, but I feel like the world has gotten smaller because we now have so much access. So I think instead of trying to be so independent of each other, we should work to be a collective earth.
Yeah, codependent.
Yeah.
So
and countries speak to their strengths.
Right. So whatever you strong in, so what is Jamaica's strength?
Fun, relaxation, and entertainment.
So if you want entertainment, come to Jamaica.
Yes. We should be the party capital of the Caribbean.
Yeah, but you also have to find a way to go export the party now. So not just that, you have to find a way.
Well, of course, we're exporting party, rum, whatever. We have people who just come to the island just for a specific party.
Like how they were here for carnival.
Right.
Right. So focus on another thing. I think Jamaica is strong in its spices. Peppers, pimentos, where we can grow that like no tomorrow. But nobody has taken that on in any seriousness. I think they're trying to take it on in pepper, right? We're trying to do import substitution.
But here's the reason why we
and
can't do well in
onions.
that.
Hold on, because we import a lot of onions and potatoes. So we're trying to do import substitution with that by saying to farmers, grow more potatoes, grow more onions. I don't know if they've achieved that as yet, but that's what they're doing.
Who's going to grow that? Who is going to grow that? Nobody behind my generation is doing that.
Well, the lands that were sold out in Logwood, those 4 acres, 4 of them, that's what the person's growing them in. They grow peppers and
And those
Oh,
men
yeah.
are younger than my generation.
Oh, no, man, them older one.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So unless we're going now to grow potatoes via TikTok, we have to do something different.
Yeah, we have to do something different. So I don't see, but if other countries have perfected the how to grow banana and tomato and this, and them can sell it to us at a reasonable price, I don't see why we should fuss about that. We should just know what our strengths are. So we have bauxite, we have water too, we could export a whole heap of water. But no, I don't think we're using that resource properly. We have lots of water.
I'm surprised it's such a small country. We have so much water brands.
Man,
So we're like,
it's all water. And most of it is local. Some is imported. And most of it is everybody know turn purified water.
I know, I swear somebody will make a brand that says regular old pipe water.
Yeah.
And just bottle it and give you.
So, some things you're just not going to be self-sufficient in or build the capacity to do, which is why even when my children were growing up, I just looked at what their strengths were and say, you do that, that's it. Don't waste your time on the things where you're not naturally gifted to. And I'm doing the same thing with Anna's even now, just paying attention. What are their strengths? What are they good at? Just let them focus on that. That way you can't feel anything, guys. You're always good to do everything with you. Right?
Like we don't have any future runners
Definitely,
in our family.
Definitely not. Them two then I go on no track. So then are laughing because I ran on the stadium track and so did she. I ran for Woolmer's girls' school and she ran for Woolmer's prep school. So we're kind of laughing because they're saying,
we just had sports day with the boys.
oh my God, I never get none of our genes with that.
Not even run and come last, more like stand up at the start line.
So these guys were ticked off about it, I'm saying, well, you feel that strongly about it, train the kid. So look to see if them have the aptitude. Maybe it's a confidence issue. Maybe it's just that them just don't like the noise and the sound and the whole heap of things running. What is it? But if you can figure it out, then you can train. But frankly, don't waste time if these kids don't have the aptitude. Find something that they're good at and work that, right? That way, because remember, the water run downstream, guys. It don't run upstream. So don't make sense you push water up a hill. Not gonna work. You have any more questions? So 4 o'clock?
1 minute to 4. Sue Thompson says, true words, Claudia. Lex G says, Scientific Research Council needs to be more innovative in manufacturing snacks because all of our snacks come from Trinidad. Trinidad is excellent in snacks.
So again,
I mean, we still have St. Mary's banana chips, and some days it's good, some days it's a miss.
man, like a bunch of plantain chips, and I open the bag, every chip in there burn. Like what the hell?
How is past quality control?
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, that's so true. But is that Scientific Research Council or is that
manufacturing quality control?
Is that the companies themselves? The companies themselves should aim to bring out a better product. So like National Bakery, always talk about that company.
They do good products.
They do good products. They're always innovating. Every time you look, there's a boy right now, never come off of wheat, come off of bread. And I'm so pissed because all these nice things on the shelf.
Made with bread.
Made with bread.
Or flour.
I'm saying, why do people give me some gluten-free? I'll turn one little person doing gluten-free. The bread is $3,500, 12 slices. Not big slice though, to little slice. I'm like,
Just give up the bread, man. Just give it up. Just say hello, lettuce.
Yeah. It's not the same though. I usually like my bread dipping on my Milo tea.
Dip the lettuce in it, mommy. Dip the lettuce in it.
So I'm gonna shut me eye and buy a bread for $3,500 every week. Paying them, man. But it costs more than I put guessing I'm a anyway. But I think part of our challenge, guys, is all right. So you can have good output without good input, right? Remember that. Our input, and you can't have money without labor. So capital and labor have to go together to give you good products and to give good service and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
As much as it matter about AI, you still need people for pumping on the AI way you need and all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, you must understand now that, as I said, the output depending on your input. So if you put foolishness in your computer, where it's going to spit out gear rubbish. So we have a challenge in Jamaica. In that, where migration is hitting us hard. 5% of the brains that would do these things, give us good snacks and give us packaging that look good and all of that. The innovative people that is up here, gone. So where you leave it? Remember, the creator in his wisdom, if you look at a classroom of kids, don't weed them out or do any separation. It's really only 5% will come with that level of genius in something that is above everybody else. So whether that level of genius is being able to play an instrument, being able to sing, being able to can know a good label and design a good label, artistic ability, right? Being able to do mathematical computations, learn several languages and all of that. It's only 5% of any group, any class, who will come with that natural gift and ability that will take them up in this 5%.
Really?
Yes.
So if you have a class of 40, isn't there a genius, no matter what it is, or variation of it, in each person?
No.
Some of us are just completely average
Yep.
at everything we will ever do.
Yep. That is why you put 100 picnic on the track and only 5% are going to run like bolt.
Yeah, but because maybe you just found the 5% that was good at running.
No.
But maybe if you check them, there is some other genius there.
There's some other genius, but not in running.
Yeah.
And some people don't come with no genius. That, as I said, them just average. Them can't come out of them can't come up as in at the 5% in any field. The creator in his wisdom did that. Think about it.
Yeah, because you need average people to make the world function.
The average,
because if everybody's at 5% doing innovation, whatever,
right.
After you've innovated it, who's gonna make it bill it repeatedly over and over and over?
Who is going to put all these parts together by hand? Who is gonna do that? Who?
Mm-hmm. Not you, the genius who designed it.
No.
And certainly not the genius beside you who's trying to come up with his genius.
Right. So the creator in his wisdom sent everybody here with their particular thing or skill that they can actually learn and be good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But you can be good at putting this together. Boom, 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 boom.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not a genius who design it and who conceptualize it.
I know.
And who figure out how do we get this thing to work so that I am taking up this instrument and I can call Sharika all the way in Dubai.
Yeah, it's like I was in the supermarket the other day and there's a particular person that works in the juice aisle.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the ones in the fridge, just the regular aisle, right? And every time I go into the aisle, I'm amazed at how neat and precise the aisle is. It's like somebody took an extra care to make sure every soda bottle was straight. And then one day I saw him in the aisle and the man have a laser level. And I'm like, why need a laser level just to put juice on a shelf? But for him, and it's an art form to do that job. And I'm like, wow.
The thing is it enough of an art form for the world to pay for it?
Maybe not.
At this level, no, it's not.
Yeah.
So what has happened to Jamaica is that them call it brain drain. Our 5% are overseas, which is why you're not getting the innovation and the creativity. Even though they may drive on South Avenue, I may look at them. Say the man still have the iron board same way. The iron board from a born till now. The man them not figure out a new design to make iron board.
Or even Google a different design and
Yes.
try and make it.
Nothing. So there are the people who know to put that together. Somebody show them and then put it together, but them not the set, the 5% here that's gonna innovate and create and make change, right?
Mhm.
So
Oh, you have a question?
we are skewed in that. That's why you're not getting no good snacks and no good nothing out of this country because of that very reason. Those who went overseas and studied and come back, I've seen them make good strides and changes. The 5%, like we lose a 5% the other day. I think the Minister of Finance that just left is in that 5%. He's in that 5%. He's in that top 5% that use their brains to create, to innovate, to make changes and so on. He's in that 5%. And see, migrate again and God. So we're losing a lot of our persons to people, to that. Now, in every country, the creator ensure that it's not that one country have more bright people than others, It's a migration. Throughout the world, a lot of the 5% people from other countries went to America and helped build it. And to me, them kind of skewed. Them have too much 5% people.
No, they got some average people too, but I think
None of them have average, but them have more 5%, which is why them come up with so much craziness. You understand what I'm saying? Come up with so much crazy things.
They're nothing if not innovative.
Exactly.
But I feel like they should continue being innovative.
Yeah. So they're the country, if you want, you make them innovate and then you pattern it. Which for years, that's what the Chinese was doing. Them anything where they make, them just make it cheaper. Them wait for them to innovate it. So you innovate the cell phone and the Bitcoin and the this and the that. And then we will just make a cheaper version. Right. Yeah.
You have a question, Mom?
Because the Chinese have the people and they have the discipline.
Jovan wants to know, Miss D, how long does it normally take to get an update for an offer made to purchase a property? I made an offer over the asking price about 2 weeks now, and for the life of me, I can't get an update.
You made an offer on a property that is in demand, it sounds like. If you're making a price over the amount. I tell you, not move fast in this country. So the thing with that now, they probably have a lot of offers looking at and trying to decide a couple of things. Do I have the wrong price? But if they have the wrong price, so
That's
many
why-
persons rushing it. So they have the wrong price. I always say that. I put on a property and say, oh my God, I have the wrong price.
But they get offers above asking.
Right, so they have the wrong price. It's a prime property. So if the price is a little higher, it would have weed out the rest of people already.
Yeah.
And I know about prime properties because we bid it on it's not a bid, it's an offer. But by the time we got to it, there are 10 offers already. Right, the place was 4.5. At the time, which was when? 2003? That was a long time. And I said, Tony, put it in 5.5. And we got it. It was $1 million above offer at the time. I was just one lick of 3,000 square foot of land, guys. Sometimes I laugh. But again, it was prime, right? So they're spinning like gigs looking at all this, and I can tell you, if there's any cash there, they're going to go with the cash.
Yeah. Yeah, and stuff like that. Mortgage is not king, even with more money.
Yeah, mortgage is not king. If it's cash, they go with the cash. But have we found ourselves in any position like that recently again? No? No?
Yeah, we've had positions where the seller just can't decide.
Yeah.
Like there's just too many offers, either of the same or too similar for you to say,
In that case, what I should do is say, we don't accept any of these offers. Resubmit and make a better offer.
Mm-hmm.
Or move the price. Or move the price. Tell you what they want, and then move the price. Now that I think about it, I should have put another million instead of 100,000. Really? So you could afford a million and you want the property, you really put it on the 100,000. You got to be kidding. I wonder who is your agent. Because I would have tell you if you should have put the million.
Yeah.
Just cut through the fluff and give them the million if you have the money. If you consider it to be prime, there's some properties that is just a no-brainer.
Yeah. I mean, they haven't accepted any offers anymore. They can still just send in a second offer.
Yeah. Some things is a no-brainer. But I can tell you if it's cash, the cash is the king, right?
Mm-hmm.
Them not gonna ignore the cash. I don't think I've had a seller with multiple offers who don't take the cash. Them always take the cash.
They usually take the cash.
Mm-hmm.
Even when it's a little tip lower.
Them always take the
Yeah,
cash.
they usually want to move fast or something else.
Mm-hmm. So if you have the money, you need to just lock my eyes. I told you, just give them $1 million and move it along. Put it in, man, need to come back within a day. Yes, Miss Davis, your offer was accepted. However, you're the however now. We need to use, so it was a property for 4.5. I tell you, we bought 5.5. We were going to deposit, I think it's 15%, which would be 750,000 or somewhere there, or 800. She called and said, "Can we get a deposit of 1.8 million, and can you agree for us to use it right away because the seller is in some whatever problem?" I said, "Yeah, man, no problem. Move it along." Move it along. So then the deposit, go and use it, just give me the agreement, no problem. So, how badly you want it, Javon? Put your money where your mouth is. All right.
You're about to lose battery.
I'm going to lose battery. All right, everybody. I did say I was only going to do an hour. I did 4.3. I hope my voice never too scratchy with it. Tony, play the song for them again.
Devon says, "I was hoping to get a counter offer. I just want feedback."
You're not getting a counter offer. You said you bid it above price, right? Let me see. Made an offer over the ask. You only make an offer over 100,000. That require a counter.
You're just going to say yes or no.
Yeah, what's the counter? If a place was 5 million and you offer 5,100,000, what them going counter you say? 5,050,000? Come on, Jack.
Especially if there's more than one offer.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna ignore you. And I can tell you, Jamaicans are so feisty when it comes to that.
Not only that, too, if you offer, and not only that, like a seller sees it as disrespect. So, like if they offering a property, right, of 5 million, and then you bid 4.9, they see that disrespect. But if they're asking 5 million and you offer 5,100,000, they also see it as a disrespect.
Yeah.
Like 100,000. Like
yeah. What do you think?
As a sale agreement price.
Yeah.
Like, what are you offering?
Yeah, what do you think? I'm not even gonna sign a reject or a counter. You just not gonna hear from them.
Yeah.
And I find the realtors can be a little bit when that is concerned too. I have to be saying, Tony, I remember to sign the reject and send to them because you want them. I know you feel you want a feedback. You want a feedback, but make a good offer, man. Show you want the place, man.
Right. If they're offering something and you want to offer above, I always tell the client, if it's not 500,000 over the asking, don't even bother. Sellers are just gonna be annoyed looking at it. Like, is this other people that I have to look at that don't make sense to me?
100,000.
Yeah.
100,000 in Jamaica. What are you buy it for? I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking here now. But
it's one of these, like when the sellers look at the offers and they're low or they're whatever, they don't even want to waste time to sign the rejection.
Yeah.
You have to sign it. You have to sign it. You have to send it back.
You know, Jamaican sellers are, I don't know what's the word, but remember, in Jamaica, the people who sell properties, not people who have one property.
Yeah.
Right? And them usually not feel for money. I can't tell you that. Them a divorce, as I say, migrate or
Dead left
property.
Yeah.
But the people actually in charge of the selling of the thing, nah, feel for money at all. So unless at the bank you're dealing with, and if it's a bank you're dealing with and you realize that the property is below value, you need to put in a proper. If you realize that other person is going to come at you with this property, you need to be aggressive if you really want it. Right? Javon said that's crazy. That's why Javon a year back, even after 2 weeks. Javon sent a new offer.
Yeah, just update the offer with a good price and then send it back.
Yeah. Send it back. Prime. And if worse, if you look on something, you say, but hold on, it is 28 million, they say, no. But they will go on 20 million. So you have to offer 20 million 100. No, you can't.
No, and we get closer.
And then what is happening to them? Have whole heap of offers. They're going to revisit the price.
Yeah.
Because they're going to know something is wrong.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you make a good offer from
first,
the start.
Yeah, to stop them from looking sideways, you know what I mean?
And stop them from looking at the other offers. Like,
yeah, stop them.
Because I still has to get down to the point where he's looking at, oh, this person has 2 NHT letters, or this person has 1 bank mortgage plus only 10% cash or 5% cash. It's gonna take forever if they have to get down to such details to figure out who to get his property to.
Javon, as me said, when I was telling Tony, I said, bid just 75.5. You know what I said? I said, we're gonna just blow this thing out of the sky.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I said. We're gonna blow it out of the sky and blow everybody. Because as Tony said, you come with your 100,000 over and that's not gonna work. Just floor them with the 1 million and move it along.
Yeah.
All right. It will come out in the wash down the road. Because that same property I'm telling you about, we still have it and it's worth 30 million now. So, and we don't even cut the grass.
You don't even do a thing to it.
And it's just social land. Seriously, guys. It's really just land. We don't even cut the grass. But you see the power of land banking.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was to sell that right now, 30 million, I would have my pension in my pocket, right? And I could literally have a $3 million per year pension for the next 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be tax-free. Once I pay the 2% transfer, it would be tax-free. And I could say to somebody, listen, I want 30 million in my hand. You pay all of the charges. So I could get 30 million in my hand, spend $3 million every year, which would be my income for the year, roughly $250,000 a month. I wouldn't have to think about no NHT and no NIS and no income tax and no capital gains tax. We don't have that in Jamaica. And just a little piece of land, that's 5.5 million.
Norma says it's like someone owes me some money and I told her not to send 500 and she sent me 550. I was like, really?
You know,
same
thing. So annoyed. So annoyed. So Javon, no, you know. All right, Tony, play a land banking song and then
we are out of time.
Oh, you don't have. Oh, so Tony, our battery might die, but go and play it. You don't know. So everybody, the songs now are going to be teaching you something. So when you see them, listen to them. They're teaching songs. All right.
Land banking are the real deal. Buy up the land to secure your meal. Forget things will rise and drop. Me put me trust in dirt, not up. Me not chase it to our flashy trend. Me want me children own till the end. We build the dream, the pension, the plan. Land of the key, own piece of the land. Land banking simple, buy land cheap. Hold it long term, watch value leap. No fence or house, that's still alright. One day development, I go shine the light. Buy no wait, no rush to flip. One new highway, land tech trip. Them a pave road, put post the light. The same bush you buy glow bright, bright, bright. Yeah man, them laugh when they buy the dry bushy. Now them walk all the tour and looky. Land can't spoil, can't get hack. Me sleep good, me asset intact. Land banking are the real deal. Buy up the land to secure your meal. Forget things will rise and drop. Me put me trust in dirt, not up. Me not chase it to our flashy flashy trend. Me want me children own till the end. To build the dream, the pension, the plan. Land of the key, own piece of the land. Paper assets crash when the market shake, but land still there and not evaporate. Me can't sleep on paper or digital, but me lay on me land, that physical. You can't build on Bitcoin or tweet, but me can plant food on me land. Sweet, 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 sweet. Land grow wealth, build legacy. No app can duplicate this equity. Me see only for the people run gone poor, but me land appreciate more and more. No Wi-Fi drop, no login loss. Me own a piece of earth, me own my boss. Land banking are the real deal. Buy up the land to secure your meal. Forget things where rise and drop. Me put me trust in dirt, not up. Me no chase crypto or flashy trend. Me want me children own till the end. To build the dream, the pension, the plan. Land of the key, own piece of the land. Start small, don't stress the pace. 1 quarter lot, still hold the grace. Join up with crew, pool the fun. Everybody eat when the deal get done. Do your due diligence, check title clear. Buy where you grow, no buy out of fear. 1 plot today, 5 tomorrow. Land banking give freedom, no borrow and sorrow. Cut the brunch, skip the party. Save for your lot, your building starting. It not take enough to start your file. Land can take you from broke to smile. Land banking are the real deal. Buy up the land to secure your meal. Forget things that rise and drop. Me put me trust in dirt, not up. Me no chase the no or flashy trend. Me want me children own till the end. To build the dream, the pension, the plan. Land of the key, own piece of the land.
Thank you, everybody. Bye. Bye. One piece of the land. Remember, put your trust in dirt, not up. Bye, everybody. See you next week.
Bye, everyone. Have a good week.